Right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It is time to talk telly. And today we got a special one. We've got one which last week I said I slept on for too long. And, my back is hurting. It's aching from sleeping on this masterpiece. Like, I never thought I'd be able to sleep at a perfect 10. I still can't, but I was definitely sleeping on one, folks. I was definitely sleeping on one. This show right here, probably the greatest animated show I've seen or probably ever will see in the next 3 to 5 years, unless they bring out a second season. That's all I'm gonna say, folks.
Arcane. We mentioned it. I think I mentioned in the very first episode of the podcast when we briefly talked about some good shows. I'll just quickly describe it before we start getting into the heavy details. It's based on the MMO League of Legends. Now you hear that and you go, oh, a League of Legends show, that's so weird, yuck, especially since the Dota show sucks. But you need to know nothing about League of Legends. I think it's even better if you know nothing. If you have no insight, don't know who is who, what is what, who's a champion, who's not a champion, and how the world even works. You come in with just no expectations, no experience, and you just watch your show, and it's a goddamn masterpiece. I think that's the best way to give a little introduction. It is basically, it's set in, how would you describe it? It's a bit of a dystopia. It's a steampunk. There you go. It's like a steampunk.
Yeah, best way to describe it would be steampunk.
Like Dishonored-esque. Like steampunk.
Looked more BioShock Infinite.
Yeah.
If anyone here is familiar with the game, BioShock Infinite looks very similar to BioShock. I love the BioShock Infinite game. That's why I bring it up. I love that game. I love the aesthetic of the game.
I feel like BioShock Dishonored. Like think of how the firelights look and like Dishonored. And like the guards, I think Dishonored. It's like
the guards look very Dishonored. Very Dishonored.
It's just the genre. It's a cyberpunk genre, and visually,
cyberpunk genre. No, hold on a minute, folks.
Steampunk.
He's just telling you to watch our previous episode. Two Tunes talk cyberpunk.
Two Tunes talk cyberpunk.
Well, now today, two legends are talking Arcane.
Well, no,
let's just say we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to unpack, unravel.
Let's just start off with the non-spoilers, very basic stuff. Animated show normally looks kind of okay. Normally, the way it's done is there are a couple episodes that look better than others. You have these specific shots that it's shot in a way so that it's far away and it doesn't cost like budget, because most shows are either they're hand drawn or they're done with like robots. Or it's a pain to just make it, because you can't just shoot someone with a camera. You have to literally generate every single thing you see. So shows like Cyberpunk and even Avatar and Legend of Korra, you'd have great fight scenes, but then you'd have scenes where they're talking and maybe the facial expressions aren't exactly up to standard, or there's these shots that you don't see all the detail because they're saving money. Arcane, Riot, they don't care about that. They've got money. Every single scene is like, I've never seen a better animated anything ever. Not Pixar, not DreamWorks. I've never seen anything look as good as Arcane. Visually, every single second of this show, every effect, every explosion, every piece of quote unquote magic, every gunshot, it is beautiful. Every tear shed, it's visually. I heard it was good. I never thought it would be this good. And actually,
I did not think it was gonna slap this hard. It wasn't even a slap. It's not even this show punches you in the gut. Yeah. It's that good. It don't even slap anymore. It's not even kind enough to give you a slap. No, this show punches. It kicks. It tears. Oh dear God. I can't give it enough credit. We're talking about the animation was.
Yeah.
People were looking into it. You can literally see in some scenes, you can see hair follicles.
Oh yeah.
Of characters. Yeah. You can see that's how much detail they put into it. We'll go into characters and their animations in a bit, just to avoid spoilers for now. But I'm telling you now, I don't think you're gonna get better animated show with like a distinct, what would you say, like a
Style.
distinct style. Yeah,
The
that's
style
the
is
word
very
for it.
like it's not a single show is like this. The style is it's basically like 3D cell shaded in a way, similar to Borderlands.
Mm.
And it visually it pops. It's so clean. It's crisp, which is a it's a big variety in animated shows. And very well, actually, I forgot to say very briefly. I'll just describe the plot before we go into any major spoilers. It's
Yeah.
it mainly focuses on two characters. Well, it mainly focuses on three characters throughout the whole
Yeah.
show. Vi and Vi and Powder, who are two sisters, and then Jace. And the whole show basically focuses on these three characters and how they impact basically this city called Piltover and the underground part of it, which is known as the underground for most of the show.
Undercity or
Undercity,
zone
yeah.
or
Well, whatever. It depends on the time. And the
That is
whole just about how these characters live and interact and how they shape it, as they are obviously very important in establishing what it is, and there's ridiculously important characters in it. I don't want to say much without giving anything away, but we'll in like 10 minutes we'll talk about we'll go into spoilers because there's no reason not to. We want to do some like non-spoiler character things, like favorite character and whatever.
yeah, I think that's the best way to go about it.
So alright. So give me your top 5 characters.
Top 5 characters. Now we're going. It's kind of difficult because like I always put like favorite characters has to be like main characters.
But your
Who's
favorite
consistently-
your favorite character. Give me whoever. Like your favorite character could have been Adam Smasher from Cyberpunk.
Oh, okay, so we're doing it like that.
Well, it's your
Like
favorite.
that, okay.
It's your favorite. You don't have to. I'm not saying like the
Alright,
best written character, but your favorite.
I'm gonna compile the list now.
Yeah.
So I haven't really thought that much about it because bear in mind, folks, I only just watched the finale today. I haven't thought much about my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Like I have a list, but if I was to compile this list down to do or die, who would I survive? Survive? Who would I keep alive?
Who would you survive?
Who would I survive?
I'd probably
that's
survive
a great
more.
way of putting it on. You did it there. Who would I keep alive? Who would I let survive? That's what I was trying to say. Who would I let survive?
Who would you survive?
Who would I survive?
I can't get over that. Alright, go on.
Number 1.
So as in best
Jace.
or 5? Alright.
Yeah, just one of 5. Jace, of course. Jace got a place in my heart, man. Like, I feel for the dog. I feel for him. Like, we'll talk more about it later.
Yeah.
But, Jace, number 1. Number 2. Controversial, but I'm gonna have to say Victor.
Oh, Victor is so fucking good.
I'm gonna have to say Victor. Number 3. Silco. Oh, Silco was different. Look, I'm gonna, folks, be prepared for like a 2-minute scale on why I think Silco was one of the best characters or one of the best villains
Go ahead.
ever written in like an animated show. This dude was like, he was unbelievable. He was unbelievable. Like, he was so conniving, so like thieving. Like, he'd poke at your worst places, your most sensitive. Oh my god, he was a perfect villain. So he is definitely in the top 5. Number 4 is a weird one, but I really liked what they did with the character when they brought him in.
Yeah.
That's Echo.
Oh yeah.
I thought Echo was really I thought he was really cool.
Yeah.
I thought he was really cool. And then number 5, Jinx. Has to be Jinx.
Yeah.
Look, there is some honorable mentions. Don't get me wrong. Like Heimerdinger, Vi. Like, I think Vi is gonna be in your top 5.
Yeah. I'll start from 5, alright, and you'll probably be surprised by this one. Number 5, I say Jace. Yeah, number 5, Jace.
No, bear in mind, Jace is my number 1.
Yeah.
He's just in my top 5.
Yeah, Jace is my number 5.
Okay.
I always thought Jason's cool. A very, very good character arc. And a bit too... He's cool, but I just prefer the other characters. He's not cool. He's not unique enough, in my opinion, to the other characters. He's like the normal guy of the show.
That's what I liked about him. That's what I thought was cool. It was like,
yeah, I think that works great for him. But I just prefer the other people because I just prefer them. Number 4, I have Silco because Silco is just he's a beast. His
you can't.
He has many.
Stop.
The thing about Silco is interactions, how he interacts with different characters, how he talking to one person and then he's talking to a different person. He completely flips, and the interactions that he has with Vander, another prominent member of the Underground, is just his whole relationship with Vander I absolutely love. Especially there's very one specific scene that I'll talk about. 3 is Victor. I love Victor. The only reason he's not higher is because I feel like I think he'll be higher the next season, because I feel like towards the end he kind of petered off a bit, especially like maybe the last episode. But
yeah,
he has more. He has a lot more plot to go. One could argue it kind of ends in this season. And number 1 and 2, I genuinely I've tried to separate and I can never. I've been thinking about it. I've thought about it before in the past, and there are days I flip on it. But in the end, 1 and 2 for me are tied, and it's Jinx and Roy.
look, it's difficult for me to leave via a list of top 5.
Yeah, that's rough.
I
Like
know.
they said Heimerdinger first over. You're like honorable mentions Heimerdinger. Oh, and Roy.
I thought Heimerdinger was pretty cool.
Heimerdinger was like he was cool, but he was like the side as a side. Like when they got him to retire.
Yeah, that was so funny.
You know, yeah.
Look at the doctor retire. Yeah, I think it's time he takes
Yeah.
a long, well-deserved retirement.
Yeah.
That's why Jason's in my top.
You know what? Let's alright. We're not gonna sugarcoat it. This show came out like 2 years ago. We love this show. Spoiler warning from now. But honestly, if you haven't watched the show, go watch it right now. You are missing out heavily. Unfortunately, no one's in the chat right now. Arcane Squash bounced. He's missing out. So we're talking about spoilers right now. Heimerdinger at one point gets told to retire by Jace, and the council agrees with him, and he gets booted off from basically being a very important member of the council and the city, and it's very funny because he was stopping the growth of technology. I was never a big fan of Heimerdinger. He was cool. He was always neat. There was never a bad character in the show, but he was okay. I want to give some honorable mentions before we move on. I don't remember his name, but the scientist for Silco, the mentor of Victor, you know, the guy with the bald head.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
He was very cool. When the whole thing with like the animal that created Shimmer, it was so sad.
Yeah, the mutation.
Yeah, that.
I thought that was a very cool side plot. I thought that was very cool.
And Savika. Savika is like just an enforcer side character, but she's just so cool. Like one of the coolest characters, just pure badass. Just kicking ass and taking names, and a very fucking cool robo arm that turns into a blade. Oh, and Caitlin's cool as well. I was never mad about Echo. Caitlin's cool.
I thought Echo was pretty cool though when he came in.
Echo has some cool moments, but I wouldn't say he was. Maybe next season. I think he has more stuff.
That's why I put him in my top 5. I think he has promise.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, he came in at the later stages of the season. Like he came in the last few minutes.
He was at the start.
Yeah, but like everyone at the start was like baby kids. Like he came into his own. He set up a whole village.
Yeah. Baby man.
Everyone was just baby at that stage.
Yeah. Do we want to go into acts, like in Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, or how do we want to talk about it?
I think, the best way to do it is to cut it into its separate. Would you say acts or arcs?
It's called acts.
Acts?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think Yeah, best way to do it, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3.
Mm.
And I have to say, Act 1 took me by surprise. Like, I didn't expect it to go as hard as it did.
Mhm.
Like, watching the first 2 episodes, I was like, God damn, this goes hard. And then episode 3, I'm glad you told me to watch it separately.
Yeah, just before we move on to episode 3, Act 1 is slow. It's the introductory arc. It's the whole show is Act 1 is when they're younger, and then Act 2 and 3 happen at the same time, and it's when they're older. So Act 1 is like the baseline of everything, the motivations, and it's kind of laying the groundwork. And when you're watching it, you're not expecting anything great, but it's phenomenal. Like just the simple dialogue, the character work. It's so enjoyable. It's extremely enjoyable to watch. And 1 and 2 are similar, kind of like jovial episodes. You know, there's a bit of shadiness going on with Silco. He's doing some stuff with Shimmer, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Then you get to episode 3. Well, Owen can tell you guys about episode 3.
Oh, episode 3, folks. It was wild. It was wild. I think I don't let the cat out of the bag. I kind of want to describe the episode first, but I can't really describe the episode.
The spoilers have been. The warning has been made. The cat.
I think
can jump out of the bag.
Vander getting captured, and then the whole sneaking out to get him and all that. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was really entertaining. I thought everything about episode 3, like that just it lit a fire in me about the whole show. Like, of course, I was watching episode 1 and 2. I was like, wow, this is really well animated. This is a really, well made show, well thought out show. But I wasn't 100% fully convinced.
Yeah, invested
on how good of a show it was. I was like, well, if it's like this for 9 episodes, it hasn't really kicked off, and look, it could be okay, but no, it kicked off in episode 3.
Like Powder fucking getting involved, and then just
Powder getting involved, and she killed the 2 kids.
Oh my god, that is so.
She killed the 2 kids.
It's so fucked, man.
She killed, like, I genuinely thought they were going to be like, important side characters. I thought they were going to be important side characters.
I thought, the leader of the fire, like, Echo, leader of the Fireflies, yeah. The intro, where he, like, they show him, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was the locksmithing guy, the locksmithing young guy. I thought that was going to be him. Anyway, he like picked locks and shit. No, because he has a key. Because the guy has a key in because the Firelight guy has a key in the intro. He bursts through a wall with a big key, and I'm like, oh, that's him, because like he's a lockpicking guy and using a key as a weapon. Think about it. A lockpicking guy uses a key as a weapon.
I can't think about it, but at the same time, like,
I was like, that's definitely
that dude was dead. That dude was dead.
I didn't expect him to die. Oh, that was good.
No, I thought I kind of knew it couldn't have been him.
I thought it was gonna be him because he was always like beefing with them a bit. I thought he'd like go his own way.
No, I knew it couldn't have been him because, like, Jinx, I should say, Jinx got like a dead statue kind of guy in her room of him. I thought that is.
Oh yeah.
Chilling on the couch. I was like, oh dear God.
Yeah.
Oh dude, she's that gone. She's that look. She made a statue to remind herself that she killed her friend.
I mean, it's brutal.
Oh,
it's
dear
like
God.
everything that's happening in Jinx's head is so fucked, man.
Oh, she's completely gone, completely lost it. I thought, no, I don't want to get into Acts 2 and 3 now. I don't want to get into it. Acts 1 only. But yeah, Powder getting involved and then being like, Vi, I did it!
And Vi just turns and fucking, what did you do? And punches her in the face. Clocks her. Oh,
that was so good.
Coming to the show, I expected Vi to be there. I knew nothing. I didn't know who's going to be good, who's going to be bad. I saw Jinx and all the posters. So I was like, alright, this blue hell girl, she's going to be the main character. I thought Vi was gonna be there, and like the mean, tough older sibling who pushes her around. I thought Vi was gonna turn bad, and Jinx was gonna be the main good guy. Because I didn't,
No.
I knew nothing about League of Legends. I didn't know who was who. I knew no. I
See,
knew
folks,
literally
I
nothing.
knew a couple of the champions because like I got spoiled on me.
So I
I
was
knew
like,
a couple champs.
I assumed that Vi was going to be the bad person because she's a bit like brash, but no, she's like a great character. That completely took me by surprise. And then when she absolutely decks Powder, and he's like, "Yeah, Jinx, he was right," and then shoves her to the ground and walks off. Oh my god.
I thought Vander's death is. Oh my god, Vander's death. We haven't talked about Vander.
Vander is basically
Vander was a cool guy.
Vander like was basically the co-leader of the underground. Well, he was leader basically,
No, he was leader. He was
Yeah.
unanimous leader. of
and
the
like
Underground.
Silco was like his second in command buddy.
Yeah, Silco. It was supposed to be a parallel between Jace and Victor.
Mm.
That's what they were aiming for. With,
Yeah. It basically was. Yeah.
That basically was, if you think about it, Victor, always scheming, always wanting more.
I never realized that actually. That only hits me now. Physically, they're very similar as well.
You could say mentally as well, because
Yeah.
Vander would he went out of his way to protect his own. You could say the same for Jace.
Mhm.
I saw the parallels as soon as Victor came in. Pretty much, I saw the parallels because not only Victor kind of looks like Silco. If you look at them,
You have Jace, the big guy, the big stocky guy, and then Victor,
Yeah.
like the small, like they're very similar,
Yeah.
physically, mentally, and
I thought the way Jace acted was very similar to Vander, and if you saw it as well in the show,
yeah.
whenever there was a Jace scene,
Mhm.
there was a Vander scene straight after.
Oh well.
Or whenever there was a Vander scene, there was a Jace scene. So it kind of like it plants a seed in your
Yeah.
head.
I mean, it was just, whew. And then was it in? I don't know what episode it was ever is shown in. So I'm just gonna quickly mention it now. But the scene, like the scenes of Silco and Vander are great. I'll just mention this while we're talking about Vander now. When Vander and Silco, not when Silco like basically nearly kills him and tosses him off the bridge, but when they show that flashback when Vander like drowns Silco and fucks his eye up.
dear
Oh my god, that was one of my favorite scenes in the entire show.
That was episode 3, I believe.
I think
folks. That was
it's like
episode
they
3.
show like their past. They talk about how it happened to them. It was basically I think it was during the revolution. I think Silco wanted to take it further, if I'm right, and Vander was like, "Alright, we stop." Like in the past, yeah.
No, it was too many casualties.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Vander was able to strike a deal so that
Yeah,
no more lives would be cost, and he'd keep the peace.
yeah, and
And Silco was like, no.
then they literally fought as like basically leader versus leader, and Vander literally beat his eye out of him, and Silco gets this huge black eye that he has to inject basically shimmer into every week.
Yeah, it's the only thing pretty much like. I think they described it in the show, it was the whole reason Victor changed, so it was like basically keep himself alive. Well, not like keep himself. I think he was able to stay alive without the shimmer. I don't.
Wait,
Do you remember why he was taking the shimmer? Why he was taking the drop of shimmer in his eye?
Yeah, I think it's like an infection or something that he has to. His eye got is like in the water that he was in. Like the shit got into his eye,
Yeah.
and it was like if he doesn't take it, then it'll fuck him up. It'll kill him.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I genuinely thought he was taking it to not like strengthen himself, but like strengthen his eye almost so that he could somehow see of it.
I think that's the point. That his eye's like fucked, and he needs to put it in so that it works.
Like I thought it was also a badass way to take fucking shimmer.
Oh yeah.
That was a bad like into your eye. Disgusting, but yet so badass.
Yeah, and then like episode 3, it's such it's such a gut punch of an episode.
I thought them kids dying.
Yeah, kids dying,
that
kids
was
being
the real one.
kidnapped, kids literally being like mentally twisted to join the dark side. Like That was fun.
We're forgetting about episode 2 though. We're forgetting about episode 2 when the
Jessup?
you know the second in command. You know Vander's second in command, not Silco, but the other guy. What Benzo?
The black guy?
No, not the black guy.
The clock guy?
Clock guy.
I don't remember anything about him.
I think his name was Benzo. I think his name was Benzo.
I never
The fact that he got killed by the guy who got turned into a shimmer.
Oh, by the blonde guy, yeah.
Yeah, but a blonde. Oh my god, that was such a good death. That's
That was episode 3, I think. No?
no episode 2, because it was like the last few minutes of episode 2, and everyone was like, "What the hell?" And that's when Vander got captured.
Yeah.
And then it kicks off at episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the repercussions of all that.
Mm-hmm.
They really have a beautifully laid out. It's a beautifully laid out show as well.
Mm-hmm.
I can't commend this show
You
enough.
can't. I think let's go to Act 2 now.
Yeah.
Act 2. So they're all grown up now by what? 5? I think it was 5 years or 6 years.
Yeah,
7 years?
something like that. I think
5 to 7. One of those. They're all adults now, basically, like young adults, very young adults.
Well, I wouldn't say very young adults. What are they, like 17?
That's very young adult.
17, 18? They're adults now. They're adults.
That's still a young adult.
They're adults, folks. They're adults.
17 to 19.
Yeah.
That's how old Jinx is. So then
They're
Vi-
misfits age. So
So Vi is like 20. Hey, Vi's our age. Let's go.
Let's go. No, that's not a let's go, folks. That is not a let's go. We're not condoning.
Relatable. I really like these characters, you know. It's so nice to have someone your own age, you know.
It's really nice having someone your own age you can relate to.
Yeah, you know. I really struggle to relate to all these, you know, old people in Hollywood, all these main protagonists, and all these young people in these shows.
I struggle to relate with these, you know, normal people. Give me someone from,
I struggle to
from the
relate.
Arcane
I
universe.
struggle to relate to Iron Man. Tony Stark, not relatable. Anyway, so not talking about the relatability joke. Act 2. So they're all grown up now, basically young adults, and well, I don't want to like just. There's no point in describing it. Let's just talk about the best parts. For me, honestly, I don't remember much of episode 4, 5, Act 2, since I haven't watched the show in so long. I remember my favorite part being when Vi and when Jinx and Vi meet up again. That's what I remember from Act 2.
No. Hold on a
Oh, is
minute.
that-
Hold on a minute.
that's the end of Act
Hold
2.
on a-
That's the end of Act
Hold
2.
on a minute now. That's episode 6, dog.
Yeah,
that's episode 6.
That's the end of Act 2. Yeah. If 7, 8, 9 are Act 2.
Oh, you're literally like,
Yeah, that's Act 2.
It's like, damn, that starter was really good. Let's jump to the dessert.
Uh,
Hold on a minute.
Act 2, we have Vi and Caitlyn as buddy copping.
Yeah, you got buddy cop situation.
Mm.
You also got Jace being cool.
Yeah,
The
but
council.
also kind of getting played.
Yeah, look, we don't talk about his downfall, right?
And downfall of Jace.
You got she who shall not be named for the moment.
What's her name, like Melissa or Alyssa or something? I don't know.
Mel, I think. Mel.
Let me check.
I think her name was Mel.
I
Mel.
feel like we talked about Mel before. This is actually kind of hitting me. You know, oh, it was Mel. Yeah, Melissa. Yeah.
Oh, I was right. Mel. Goddamn Mel. All Mels are bad. I've never met a good Mel.
I swear we talked about Mel before.
Evil. Mel Gibson's evil. I'll tell you that much.
Oh God.
Mel Gibson caused the downfall of Jace. You
Um,
also got cool in Act 1. You got cool Victor and in Act 2 as well. You got cool Victor and Jace scenes. That was pretty cool.
Victor.
You also have the Victor going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, Victor Victor getting sick and needing to put, because Victor is like physically just fucked. He's on. He's on
gone.
Arcane.
He actually has amputated legs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
He does. He has amputated legs, and I thought that like I didn't notice until the flashback scenes in Act 2. With the kill professor, I didn't realize his legs were actually wooden. They're actually amputated.
Yeah, it's
I was
literally
good
like
God.
a little attachment. Like,
Yeah.
it's mangled well. And yeah. So I honestly, I hate to say it, I don't remember anything from episode 4 or 5. I watched the show a long time ago. I remember nothing.
The only things I can really remember from episode 4 and 5 is that they were visually stunning.
Oh yeah, like
They were
every
visually stunning
like every
episodes.
episode.
No, these episodes especially because I don't think there was much. Like it was more building towards Act 3, if anything.
Let's see, episode 4. Jace goes on the council. Caitlyn frees Vi at the end. So episode 4 is like a Jace episode, you know, and with Jinx, we're showing us what Jinx is doing right now. Jinx. Oh yeah, that was very good. Just seeing. Oh yeah, seeing well the underground, and seeing how
How
it
the
looks.
underground is now.
Oh, I was so and
With
they,
Silco under control.
and they played a lit song of fucking. Oh, it's Dirty Little Animals. That's such a good song. Where like when they first showed the underground, it's like a real cool like kind of lo-fi song where it's like, well, welcome to the play, you know, everything's cool. It's a bit shady, but it's like a cool place. But then when Silco's running it like 7 years later, it is now fucking toxic wasteland where you either broke or you're rich. It's literally like basically Piltover, but like worse.
No, it's
It is the slum.
it's supposed to be that. What you call it? They, you know, like a lot of things in the show, they perfectly mirror each other. Piltover perfectly mirrors the Undercity. It is like, what is it like? Piltover is the outer shell, and the Undercity is the rotten core.
Literally,
you know, at the end of the day, you can't deny your core. You're just as bad on the outside as you are on the inside, and that's the best way to describe.
When you go down into the underworld and the song is just like, it's grimy, it's dirty, the place is filthy. Oh, Silco is in charge. He's got some goon squad that helps him around. Like his own little council.
Yeah. Oh, the scene with Oh no, folks.
Is that
Probably one of the. That's in Act 3, I believe. That's episode 7. We'll get onto that in a bit, but let's just say the coldest scene ever. Like, the coldest bad guys.
Well, yeah. So honestly, we talked about episode 4 and 5. Episode 6, I loved the show up until this point, but once episode 6, 7, 8, and 9 are like, they can't compare them to anything in the show. Like, it hits. Like before this part, I was like, alright, this is a great show. Very well done. I love it. From episode 6, this become one of the best shows of all time. So, in this episode 6...
Before you get on to episode 6, I just remembered it. I actually have it down in my notes. That's how I remembered it. If you want to get anyone, folks, if you want to get anyone to get into the show, or if you're getting into the show yourself, and you're just watching the spoilers, I'm telling you now, episode 5, the last 10 minutes... Or is it... Yeah, episode 5. Everyone wants to be my enemy. So, you know, words from a song.
Yeah.
But, the last 10 minutes, when they get the Imagine Dragons in the show...
That was funny.
I thought that was really good. But, I think that's why I remember episode 4 and 5 so well.
Well,
because I just remember...
It's the one scene where... The one scene...
Yeah, literally the one scene where they have the Imagine Dragons in the show.
Yeah,
they the whole way they set up Vi. You know, she's walking on the street, it's real grimy, and they're all playing the games.
Yeah.
I just thought the way
it's
they animated that one.
By the way, phenomenal. In episode 5 is when Vanda and when Silco tells Jinx about the whole Vanda drowning thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway,
don't concern the water.
Episode 6. Here we go. Starts off with Victor. He like the blood gets into the hexacore, and then he realizes Hyman gonna get kicked off the council by Jace. Victor visits his fucking old mentor, this weird, like, weird experimenting scientist who also helped create Shimmer in a very sadistic way by, like, basically draining this animal and keeping it alive. And then, of course...
Yeah, the mutation must survive. I understand. Oh, I understand now. That was great. That was really good.
And then finally, of course, the one and only is when Jinx shoots the flare into the sky, and then that fucking song.
And Vi comes and answers the call at the last second.
That fucking song, fucking I think it's good, but I think it's a. I don't remember, but it's a fucking phenomenal song. The music, we didn't talk about this in a non-spoiler thing, which is a big mistake. The music of the show is one of the best musics in any show ever. I
really enjoyed the music. I don't think I'd listen to the music outside the show, except for the team.
I have like most of the theme. I have like 9 songs on my phone from the show. I have a lot of this show on my phone, and I listen. There was a time where I listened to it nearly every day. On the bus.
Yeah.
When I watched it, man, every day I'd be listening to fucking. Once we talk about all the episodes, I'll tell you what songs I've been listening to. Yeah, I'll send it to you later. Yeah. So, and then Vi, and oh my god, Vi and Jinx meet, and it's so heartfelt. And then Caitlyn like shows up, and well, Jinx freaks.
Yeah, the way they animated Jinx in the show. The
way they portray her mental
her illness.
Yeah.
With the white, like, really sharply drawn sketches, and it turns out that the 2 voices talking to her are the 2 dead kids.
Yeah.
They're the 2 dead kids. I didn't realize that until episode 6.
Really?
I didn't cop that. I didn't cop those 2 dead kids until the sketches started to look more and more like the 2 kids. I was like, and then they have in episode 7 with the 2 kids going around her. Or was that episode 6?
No, I think
it was episode 6 and 7.
As it progresses, it gets more.
But they literally have the 2 dead characters. Like it has like the circling. Hard to describe, but you know what I mean.
And then the firelights come up and have a really cool fight scene before they get captured. And that's great. But then you go into Act 3 and the show just it turns the dial up to 11, and you realise shit's beast. So then they talk to firelights, they meet Echo, blah blah blah. That's all cool. Then I just want to remember. Like it basically escalates to 100. The underground want to come up, and then. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I want to talk about the bridge incident.
The bridge incident. Episode 7, the bridge.
It mainly revolves around the bridge between Piltover and Underground. And at the end, well, the bridge is under attack. And basically what happens is they think it's going to be peace. And then Jinx, in her like little genius of like mechanics and robots, sends in these fireflies basically throughout the bridge, which basically blow up all of the guards, killing Marcus, who was we didn't talk about him, and honestly we don't need to. But
we don't really talk about.
He had a cool story, but we don't need to talk about it. They're doing about it. He dies, and then it's like, oh my god, like they're gonna like Zon is gonna form. They're coming up. Then Echo is standing in the way, and it's like you see that the firelights are actually gonna do some good, since they were kind of just dicking around for the most part. And then fucking the fight, and Jinx is there obviously, and the fight between Jinx and Echo. I still need to think what my favorite fight is in the show, but I think this is my favorite fight in the show: Jinx versus Echo.
Jinx and Echo.
Cause oh my god, the fucking song that plays during that fight is
the song that is one of the songs I was gonna bring up. That is one of the songs I really enjoyed that fight scene when it's like I don't know if it's at the end of the episode. It kind of feels like an end of the episode kind of fight.
It is.
I don't think it was actually.
No, it is. It's literally the last scene. It is.
The last scene where it goes into like the cartoony stuff.
Oh man, like it's fighting, and it's the most unique fight I've ever seen in any show ever. So these two characters standing opposite each other, and it's you can only pull this off in animation. When they're standing across each other, and they're like, they're like getting each other ready, getting themselves ready, and then like they draw their weapons, and then as they look at each other, these childhood friends, it's like they're looking at themselves as kids, and then they just charge each other, and the music's playing, and it's slow-mo, and it's cutting, and you can't explain how it looks. It's so unique. That was my best trying to explain it. And they basically
But it turns out it's all part of like Echo's powers.
Yeah.
I thought that was seriously cool.
Yeah.
Did they actually explain how Echo got his powers?
I think it's like something with the time.
Yeah, it's something to do with time, but I don't think they ever explained it, did they?
I don't know if that was a power thing, or I think that's like he kind of was like, alright, I know this is gonna happen. But I don't know if that was like a.
Echo in the game though can
he can do he has some time shit.
Yeah, he has powers related to time, and I think they were like
hinting at it. I think.
No, that's what the whole scene was.
Yeah,
it was like, it's like he can live in a certain time and then go back to himself.
Yeah.
If you get me.
Yeah, and then Echo.
So it's like perfectly reads events.
Yeah, and then Echo dunks on it. But in the end, he can't muster himself.
He can't do it.
He can't beat the shit out of his childhood friend. But of course, Jinx doesn't think that way, and then she blows him up.
That's because of Vi, though. It's because of Vi's influence. Vi was like, I can change her. And then he starts seeing it's still just powder.
Yeah.
And then, boom.
And that ending was just... so at that point, I thought Echo was dead. Cause I didn't know he was going to be carrying in the game, so I thought he was dead. So him being alive is fine.
That's actually that fight. I don't want to say it, but that fight is one of the main reasons why he's one of my favorite characters.
It's so
just that fight alone. I just thought he was so cool in that fight. I thought it was the way they show his kind of power was really cool. The way they made it to be he's a kid who rose up. I really like that as well.
Yeah.
Rose up, became leader. He's getting the nods. He's getting the respect. He's getting the handshakes.
And I really thought it was brutal. Next episode when Jinx needs to get the surgery to save her, and she gets basically loaded up with shimmer. I thought that was fucked. And she's seen Vi and Caitlyn as the people doing it to her.
Oh, it reminded me of something you'd see in Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Reference to our last episode, folks. But yeah, it reminded me of something Dave would see during cyberpsychosis. Genuinely, I was like, oh dear God.
And the next and then oh my God, the culmination of Victor's arc, where he finally gets the hex core working, and he heals his leg, and then he starts running. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He literally starts booking it, but then his childhood friend and assistant goes up to check on him, and she gets murked by the hex core.
The hex core
literally just killed her.
I thought that was a little bit funny as well. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of a Forrest Gump gone bad.
Yeah.
He's running. Woo!
And it also shows that Mel was manipulating Jason this episode. But the best part of this episode is the end, where Jace realizes that the council isn't going to make any aggressive action towards the underground. So him and Vi team up to destroy a Shimmer facility. And this is just under the previous fight scene, just under. It's arguably a better fight scene, but simply because it's not as unique, I have it under. And it's when they just deck the people. That song as well, You're a Snake. Oh, every single one of these songs towards the end is just a straight banger. And this fight scene is phenomenal. Watching this, I was literally getting chills whenever the song would ramp up. And they just beat the shit out of an army that's armed with Hextech weaponry. Well, as in they're using Hextech weaponry. Jace has this huge hammer, and Vi has like these the Hextech fists.
Yeah,
And,
I
like,
thought Jace with the hammer was cold.
like they look so cool, and I'm pretty sure I assume they're like the abilities that they have in the game.
They are, yeah.
Yeah, well, like they punch, like the fists are cranked up to 11, and like Jace like turns his hammer and he starts shooting with it, and oh my god, visually it's such. I before the podcast I rewatched that fight scene because it's so goddamn good. I also rewatched the Echo one.
Oh, the Echo one. Yeah, yeah,
When I,
you
when I,
have to.
when
you
I
have
saw
to
that
watch
fight
Echo.
scene, I was like, I normally never watch binge watch shows. I never binge watch. When I saw that fight scene, I couldn't stop myself from watching the next episode. I had to.
I found myself falling into the same pitfall. Yeah.
Well, you're a binge watcher.
Oh yeah. Look, folks, I did get it done in a week. I said I would for the.
Oh yeah, no, a week's fine for this show because there's only 9 episodes. But you've been watching some bigger shows.
I've binge watched bigger shows, folks. I've binge watched bigger,
But
bigger and bolder.
the last episode where it's just we quickly get the small thing. Actually, you know what? We'll very quickly talk about Echo and he meets up with Hyman thing and whatever. But I didn't like. Yeah, that's cool. Whatever.
Yeah, no. I look. Episode 9, folks. Come on.
It's the
Don't need to
main
worry about Echo and Jaime right now.
the Silco peace offering to the surface. What Silco would never do, but he actually does it to get the independence of Zon as like a city, as like a country, a state, whatever. And Jinx kidnaps Caitlyn, and yeah, then Vi. Oh yeah, firstly, Vi comes up to Savika and she's like, "Yo, where's Jinx?" And then Savika's like, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck." And then they have a phenomenal
Yeah,
fight
they
scene.
have the fights in. Probably. Look, probably the best fights.
In my opinion, it's not because the song. The song didn't quite hit for me. I didn't like that.
I thought the song was good, but
It was
yeah,
good,
one of them
but
songs. I'm not gonna listen to outside of the show.
I'm not gonna. That is my. I wasn't mad about that shit. But that goddamn fight scene was phenomenal. It was phenomenal, and it really showed how badass Savika is, and even how better Vi is. And then, well, in the end, Jinx kidnaps Vi, and sets her up in like a how do you say, a Death in the Family Joker-esque Batman situation where she ties up everyone at the table. It's Silco tied up, it's Caitlyn tied up, it's Vi tied up, it's her 2 childhood friends tied up.
Oh, the 2 childhood. Oh, it was. Oh.
And then they're trying to appeal to Jinx. They're trying. It's all intense. They're trying. And in the end, I think Silco goes to shoot Vi, and then Jinx shoots him.
Yep.
And then the second she shoots him, she realizes, she's like, oh no. And then in killing Silco, it basically. I'll talk about my Tuesday, but
No, it confirms her as
killing
Jinx.
Silco, and Silco being like, "Oh, you're perfect. You are my daughter. You're exactly what I wanted you to be." It solidifies her as Jinx, and she'll never go back to being Powder, as much as they try and convince her she can. And then Caitlyn tries to shoot her, and she doesn't because Vi's pleading her not to. And in the moment of weakness, since Jinx has been juiced up with the shimmer from the surgery, she knocks out Caitlyn with ease because she's so powered up. And then it's probably the best scene in the show. She grabs the refined hex core, whatever it's called, and she puts it in a rocket launcher and goes up and stings what could have been his plane, as Jace is finally convincing the council to take their peace offer that Silco offered them. And in the end, they will have peace. There will be two.
And then
there will be 2 nations. All will be right in the world. Everyone votes yes. Jace looks happy, and Jinx wipes out the fucking rocket launcher, and the visuals of it firing, and then it's struggling. The gun is barely able to harness the power of this goddamn hex core, but it does, and it sends out the rocket, and it's going, and it's going, and it's going. And Jace announces that it will be peace, and it smashes the glass, and the show ends. And then, yeah.
Like, I think it was the perfect ending to a perfect show. It was really like I can't. You put it best there. I can't describe
It
how
was
good of an ending, like how satisfying it was
it
as
was
well.
so emotional for me anyway.
I was just watching it and I was like, God damn.
I shed.
You ever like it was like a gobsmacked
Oh,
moment.
I just watching that. I shed a couple of tears watching that.
Yeah,
When when she shoots it, and then when it's flying and sings like whoa, oh my god, when it's going past the moon, oh my god, that hit me so fucking hard. With Vi and Caitlyn like screaming like at Jinx to stop it, but they can't, and oh my god, and now we're just like, what happened to the people inside? Will they survive? What we know that Zahn and Piltover are now going to be stuck in a state of war. The peace that was so close to being made is now dashed due to Jinx's, well, effect that she has, her
yeah,
unique,
the Jinx effect.
the Joker effect. She's literally like the female Joker.
She is the Joker pretty much. I like to think of her like, you know, that scene you're talking about, a death in the family scene.
Yeah.
I saw it more like it was more like an Alice in Wonderland, like the Mad Hatter
Yeah, as well.
at the picnic table.
Mm.
I think that's what they were trying to like. That is what they were going for. I think
Mm.
a Mad Hatter scene with Jinx. But yeah, I just saw like
Yeah, Death of the Family. Yeah, I've really since Batman thing. I really saw it as Death of the Family, but yeah, it works with both ways.
it does work both ways. But I think that's the whole like the parallel they were going with. You know, like Mad Hatter. You know,
Yeah.
they've gone too far down the rabbit hole for
Uh-huh.
peace, and she just confirms that.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
yeah, it was almost a perfect way to end the show.
Uh-huh.
I think it's time for the Silco. I think it's time for the Silco 2-minute appraisal.
Go ahead.
Look, folks, when we first meet Silco, like, I don't know about you, I didn't, like, I knew he was going to be, like, the bad guy. But I did not think this man was going to be so cold. So dastardly. So, like,
Such a bad guy.
but he was, like, the coolest bad guy. He was the coldest. Like, he was a relatable bad guy. I think that's what I'm looking for here. Like, he wasn't like a downright villain.
No. In the
He was
end,
a bad guy. Don't get me wrong.
He wanted
He's a bad
independence
guy.
for his country.
He took the right means in the wrong place. If that makes any sense. Like, he's a product of his, area.
Yeah,
much.
upbringing.
As shown by his eye.
Yeah.
He is a product of Zom.
Mm.
Everyone in Zom is fucked up.
Mm.
Everyone in Zom is, twisted and bad in some way, like gone rotten. And he is just a prime example. He had all these aspirations with Xander. He had all these hopes for Zon and for independence and for hope for his people and all that. And, taking the easy route just wasn't an option for him. And ended up with Xander almost killing him and presumably killing him. And Xander heard that Silco's still kicking around and, he doesn't want to do anything about it because it's still his friend at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Much like Vi and Jinx. When Vi hears that Jinx is still alive, she's like, oh, I kind of want to save her, I feel like Vander must have been the same.
Yeah.
But unlike them, he decided against it. He was like, oh, look, maybe it's best we stay apart.
Mm.
And I thought Silco's whole, the manipulate. Oh, look, I'm just gonna get into the best Silco parts here. I'm just gonna get into the best Silco parts without going through everything. Silco manipulating the blondie guy to take the shimmer.
Oh my god.
That was cold. That was cold. Look, folks, I'm not sugarcoating it here anymore. I'm not writing Silco as the perfect character anymore. No, I'm just giving his coldest, his black
And
Air
I just
Force
want to
energy moments.
quickly want to jump in. This is the blonde guy that if there's this blonde guy in like the first in act one, in like the episode 1 I think, where he's like trying to mess with like them when they're young. And like
Yeah, he's trying to mess with Vi and Powder and the group after they make a big score.
Yeah, and Vi just decks him.
Yep, Vi pummels him, and that eventually encourages him to go on and, you know, look for more power.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends up in Silco's hands. But Silco manipulates this poor kid into taking experimental drugs to make him more powerful. And basically, he is the first, you know, shimmer junkie.
Yeah, he's the guinea pig. He's the one who started it all.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong. Do you remember in Act 2, I believe it is, I think, you know when they fall down to the under city?
Yeah. To like the
remember?
to the junkie place.
Yeah, the junkie place. Who is that? They were talking to with the glasses. Remember, it's like, oh, me and Vi used to be friends. Yeah, we used to be friends. With I don't want her to see me this way. You know.
I don't remember. I haven't seen the show in too long.
Sure, I'm gonna look this up now while I'm still talking. But I remember seeing this and I was like, that kind of looks like one of the characters who'd have bet up.
Maybe.
But anyway, Silco manipulates this kid into taking the drug and becoming one of the first junkies. And that's his first Black Air Force energy moment. The second one was manipulating Jinx.
Oh.
That was too cold. She left you. She left you. She left you here to die. You know, you have no one now.
But in the end, he did.
All you have is me.
In the end, in a funny way, he did like kind of manipulate himself and fall in love with her as a daughter. Like he was like, it's what I love about it, and this is adding to your Silco little mini rant. The fact that we see like the two fathers of Jinx, you have Vanda and Silco on each side, and how they both raised her, and how like obviously how they both do it differently. I love seeing that, and it's just like Vanda was a good father, but he was clearly more into Vi. You know, like he always took care of Vi more. He gave her the gloves. He always, you know, took more interest in her. And then Silco, he's like, you know, it's complete opposite. Jinx is number one. She gets the attention. She gets taught how to do everything. She's the important person in the gang, and it just connects to her. And the relationship is something I loved. I thought it was just going to be like a manipulative thing, but it's deep, and I really appreciated that.
I think it started as like a manipulative thing.
Yeah.
But like that, Silco, fell in love with Jinx as his daughter, you know.
Yeah.
I thought their relationship was really nice. But it doesn't get into the Black Force energy moments, folks. It does not get into the Black Force energy moments. You know what does, though? You know what does? Him becoming Kingpin.
Yeah.
Him becoming goddamn Kingpin.
Yeah.
Oh, he has his Kingpin. He has his penguin lair set up.
Yeah, tell me about the coldest scene you said.
Oh, well, look. Do I get into that coldest?
Yeah.
This is Black Air Force energy. This is like oh my god. I can't describe it in words. Like, this is the coldest scene I have ever seen from like any bad guy in an animated show. Like, just in an animated show.
Most shows, but the coldest scene of most shows. Huh?
Look, I'm just gonna say it is not all shows. That's it. All shows. All shows. I was gonna compare it to Walter White's.
Yeah.
I am the one who knocks. Like, I think that's another really cold scene in television history.
Yeah.
But I think this is the coldest scene. I think this is by far, like, this is the most downright dastardly like displays of power I have ever seen. This man shows no mercy. He shows no regard. Like, he doesn't kill them. He doesn't like do anything. He just completely like derails any sort of power or leadership or control of the situation these guys had. He puts them in the ground. He buries them.
So are we talking about
Metaphorically.
the gas scene?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking about the council meeting.
So give the listeners a bit of a rundown here.
Right. So I believe before we get into the council scene, we need a bit of a preview.
Yeah.
So things haven't been going right for Silco at all. You know, everything's kind of falling apart. Jinx is missing. You don't know where she's gone. Yet everything's falling apart. Savika was beaten by Vi. Vi is still running rampant. He still can't catch her. You know, he had that scene in the under city. And bear in mind, I looked up that guy with the glasses.
Yeah.
He's from episode 1. Do you remember the guy who Vander saved from getting cheated with the money?
Maybe.
Well, for anyone who's going to watch the show, yeah, that's who he is. He's a very insignificant side character, so I wouldn't worry about him. But anyway, back to the preview. So, you know, Jinx is still running around, but Vi's still running around with Caitlyn. They've after getting away and nothing's gone right. And then these bozos from the council call up looking for a meeting.
Looking to settle the score.
Yeah, looking to settle the score, looking to see what the next step in the plan is. And Savika goes, you know, they're looking to see a boss. And Silco's like, well, tell them to put it off. And it's like, from the sounds of it, you don't have a choice. And Silco's like, no. He looks over at Savika. He just kind of like, he almost like smiles. As in like these don't know what they're in for. These do not know what they're in for. And by God, I like, oh Jesus. Folks, when I tell you, like, he walks in. So they're talking about how, you know, money's down at the moment, profits are plummeting, you know, everything's gone to shit. Everything's just gone to shit. You know, what do we do here? Do we initiate war on Piltover? Do we start riots? Silco bursts through the double doors, places the box slowly on the table, pushes it out. Nobody knows what's in this box. Just pushes it slightly on the table and they're like, well, what's your plan? You know, what's your next step here? What do we do? You know, how are you going to solve all these problems we're facing? And the guy just looks around the room. He's like, I think yous forget where yous came from. I think yous forget, you know, the cold, harsh conditions of the mines and the wells. And he gets Savika to turn off the ventilation system. He closes the doors. And they let off this gas. And bear in mind, I thought it was Shimmer. The way it came out, it was very like, what would you say, like, like poisonous.
I mean, it wasn't Shimmer.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Shimmer,
It was
folks, but it looked like Shimmer. You know, Shimmer had like a toxic look off it.
It was literally like the gas that was covered the underground before Silco like reformed it in a way. And he's just standing there and he's looking at all them choking and he's like, you know, as you said, he's used to it. He takes like one puff of oxygen and he's just standing there looking at them as they're all barely clinging to life. Gasping.
People in the underground, so people coming from Piltover down into the undercity, into the underground, they need to wear masks because they can't breathe in these harsh, like in this harsh environment. They can't breathe. But Silco's just so used to filth and grime. He's so used to it, and he doesn't stop talking throughout this whole scene. He has a whole monologue how, you know, they're not used to it. They're not used to They're too used to being out in the sun, and you're like, oh, dear God. And one by one, everyone gives in. They start putting on the masks. They need to breathe. The good air. They can't breathe the filthy air anymore. All the while, Silco's breathing in. He's loving it. Because one by one, each person on this mighty council, which tells him what to do, how to run his undercity, fall to their knees, crying out for his help. I have to say, it is the coldest scene. Them begging for their life. Well, he's like, it's only air. It's only air. That is cold. That is cold. And the fact he turns on the ventilation, they open up the double doors, and it's like, I hope you remember your place now. Oh my God. It's not the fact that he's putting a gun to their head.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that. It's the fact he is able to he's able to shut up and then entire most likely group of high ranking people.
Yeah, these are leaders of gangs, and they're like, hey yo, they're coming to get basically revenge. They're trying to muscle him, and he's not having any of it.
And the fact he does it all with air. He does it all with the air from the Undercity from Zahn is unbelievable.
I'll briefly mention later on the main guy, guy who tries to resist him, Finn. A kind of funny looking douchebag guy. He's trying to get Savika to rise up against him, and he's like, yo, we can't be under him.
Slit his throat. That's what's going
crazy. And he set up a meeting, and Finn's sitting there, he's laughing, he's flicking his little lighter, talking about how he need to make change. And Savika standing behind Silco. She's getting her sword ready. Silco can never stop her. Even if he sees it coming, he'll never stop it. Then slice, and you're like, oh my God, did Silco just get his head chopped off? And then you look at Finn, and his golden jaw falls off, and his neck starts bleeding. And there's a woman standing beside him, and she's like, oh no, and he collapses. And then another cold thing, Silco's like, I don't remember what he says, but he's like, yeah, I want to kill you. You really lost your son recently. Because Jace killed the son. And she was like, oh shit. And he's like, war's good. You want to get revenge on these guys? And she's like, yeah, I guess I did.
No, I thought the coldest scene was look, the coldest scene was the council scene. The coldest scene was the council scene.
This is just devolved to Silco worship.
Yeah, look, folks, it's probably going to be long, it has been longer than 2 minutes for Silco.
It's been
worship here.
20 minutes.
Him with Marcus's daughter.
Oh.
In the playroom. Oh my God. It's like a trope. It's a given trope.
Yeah.
These days, you have the bad guys. They're
talking to the family.
Yeah, talking to the family, sitting down having dinner. It's a very mafia trope.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're late for dinner. Come take a seat with your family. You're not sitting in your seat,
wife baked a good dinner for us. How can you not enjoy it? Respect the manners of the table.
Yeah, respect your wife. You come in and you have dinner with your family on time. You don't be late. Look, you're leaving out portions of the lasagna. It's going cold. Felt very mafia.
Yeah.
And Silco playing with the daughter. And he's like, yeah, we don't want anything to happen to your daughter here now, do we? Oh my God. But it was the whole fact, it was so unexpected as well. Mark's sitting there, he's like, I'm doing this all for my daughter, I want to go see her. He just opens the door slowly, and you see Silco there, and you're like, what? And you see all his goons around as well.
So
and he's like, how did he get in? how did he get in?
So
right, enough Silco talk.
couple of like finishing points. You don't have to, but a couple of like points you have to say. At the end of the day, where do you put the show on the tier list? That's what people
On the
want.
tier list,
What is it behind and what is it ahead? Some major inclusions.
it's an S tier show, folks.
Mhm.
It's an S tier show. Look, I'm not even gonna argue the fact it's an S tier. It's S tier.
Yeah.
It's gonna take me a while before I can start ranking it against other S tier shows because it's so fresh in my
I guess, yeah.
head. Like,
I'll give you my takes and then you can.
Yeah.
So for me, it's S tier. It is the upper echelon of S tier. Now, it's not S plus. As you guys know, S plus for me is Game of Thrones. Nothing comes near that. That's an S plus by itself. At the very top, just at the very top of S tier, guarding anything from going to S plus, is Breaking Bad. And so Arcane is just before Breaking Bad. As in, it's not as good just because there's one season of it. I think if there's a season 2 of Arcane and it's as good, then it jumps over Breaking Bad. But since there's only one season and there's 5 seasons of Breaking Bad, it's just,
You can't get enough Breaking Bad. Like that's the problem.
Arcane is ahead of Better Call Saul. It's ahead of Misfit, Skins, Cyberpunk, Peaky Blinders.
It's so clear.
Black Mirror. Like, all these fantastic shows, all these shows that I watch countless times, it's better than Peep Show, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like, it doesn't matter what genre it is, it beats it. It doesn't matter if it's a comedy, a thriller, an action, a documentary, it beats it because it's just that goddamn good. It's genre breaking. Like, it beats these other things.
it's show breaking.
Yeah.
It's show like you can't even say it's genre breaking because the genre fits in is so niche.
Yeah.
It's so unique.
Like,
I can't like it's. It is like show breaking.
It is.
This is like, folks. This is a show based on a video game.
Well, it's not. Yeah.
No, the story is based on a video game, and yet it's probably one of the greatest shows I've ever watched.
I mean, I'd say probably a third best show. I can't think of many better shows. Like, Better Call Saul was phenomenal. I loved Better Call Saul. No, it was an experience. But it's not better than Arcane. And I hate, like, saying that kind of feels weird, but it's just not. Well, I can't.
You know what?
All these shows.
You know, best way to describe it. It is the best series I've ever watched.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to put it, because a show is something you sit down like week by week and you watch. Like, it's a long running, it's a show. Like, Breaking Bad is a show.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones is a show. Walking Dead, the likes of that, they're all shows.
Best
a series though.
Netflix
like a series
series, yeah.
would be like a Netflix series. Like, it comes out, one season comes out, and then 2 years later a second season comes out. That's usually
better than Squid Game, folks.
better than Squid. I would say Young from the Squid Games. Jose Young.
Better than Witcher.
Better than Witcher season 1. Clear.
I'm joking.
Witcher season 2. I'm not even taking that as a joke.
Witcher is not S tier. Witcher's fucking A plus.
Witcher with season 2 dropped to A-.
Yeah. Well,
Witcher 2 season 2 was so bad.
Yeah, season 2 sucked ass. Apart from episode 1.
Episode 1 was decent.
Episode 1 was good. It was good. That was the one with the villain.
Guy.
Yeah, that was very good. The villain was great. I'm trying to think. I think that's it. Arcane, like, show number 3. Yeah, I haven't finished House of the Dragon season 1, so we have that to see. I don't think it'll be better than Arcane, but if there's more, there will be more seasons of House of the Dragon if it continues at the rate it is. Will be. And there'll be 3 or 5. There's not going to be more than 5. Now, it would be crazy if there's more than 5. I think House of the Dragon will probably go higher just because I love Game of Thrones. But Arcane is just. I mean, I can't. Like, Avatar: Last Airbender has nothing to say on it. This is just the best. Do you have anything else to share about this show?
No, I think the only thing I can say is that
watch it. Just watch it.
If you haven't watched it, watch it.
It doesn't matter if you don't like animated shows. Doesn't matter if you think, what's what's with these main characters when you have blue and red hair.
Even you have absolutely no interest in the game.
Yeah.
Watch the show.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you don't even own Netflix. Buy Netflix and watch the show. Doesn't matter if you own Hulu.
Stream it.
Cancel all your subscriptions to get Netflix. And just
Buy a
watch the show.
Hulu membership. God, that one. I would never suggest getting a Hulu membership. Get a Hulu membership.
Get the Hulu package.
God, do what you absolutely must to watch the show.
Get the Hulu package, which includes Netflix.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, I am. This show is the best of the best. We'll probably talk about it some other episode briefly. We'll mention the show a lot, especially since both of us have watched it now, so we know about it.
Alright.
Season 2 will happen at some point. Whenever the trailer
Oh,
drops,
definitely will.
we will be going ballistic. So yeah,
Stay tuned.
Thanks everyone and anyone for joining in. It's been a great episode. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, and all that jazz. We'll be another episode next week. Realistically, Wednesday. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I'd say roughly Wednesday or Thursday is
Yeah.
best.
Say look, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That'll be like the sort of days we'll be doing it. And yeah, catch you guys then. Bye bye.
Right.
Bye.